Set 2 will be played on Neo Planet S. Spawning in the bottom left-hand position as the yellow Zerg from CJ Entus, a ZvP specialist. His name is Hydra.
His opponent, the #1 player from SK Telecom T1, the ace player spawning as Red Protoss on the right top hand position of the map. His name is Rain. You know, before coming to the studios today, I was looking at the rankings, doing some numbers, and I was so surprised that people were saying CJ Entus was out. Because if you work out the numbers, CJ Entus is still in the race. Yes, it's really unlikely that they're going to go up because they have to get 4-0. And, and the other teams have to go 0-4, like SK Telecom T1 and STX Samsung Khan. But CJ Entus, they're still not out of the race.
By the way, I've noticed the OGN studios starting to get more and more people in it for Starcraft2, especially when we were watching the Auction All Kill OSL.
I'm really craving those yogurts.
You like ice cream, man.
It's hot.
It is actually like really hot where we are at right now.
I mean,
this fan is not helping out at all.
All right, you know, I'm just gonna sit in front of it right now.
Well, thanks, man. Just like let me sweat and die here.
You're from Florida, man.
I'm from Florida.
Okay.
Listen, I can deal with the heat, but if there's no wind flow at all, then it's just like I can't breathe.
Fine, I'll let you have some.
Thank you.
Alright, so Hydra just opening up Pool first, and yeah, like I said, if CJ Entus just takes this set, then they're all set for today and for the rest of the season, as they want to take out SK Telecom T1 in a dominating fashion. Yeah. Their scenario of making it to playoffs is going for 4-0 today, or at least a 4-1 against SK Telecom T1.
Wow. It's possible. I think they could definitely do it if Hydra and Hero get their wins. And I could see Trust losing the fantasy, but then Effort defeating S2.
Yeah.
S2's been doing pretty good recently, though. And
so it really depends on the triple combo from CJ Entus doing well today. Is it going to be a 4-1 or a 4-3?
That's true. And then, but like also look, we have Rain parting Fantasy in a row. 3 top players from SK Telecom T1, and S2's been doing really good as well.
Yes.
So he's no pushover, and even in ZvZ is pretty solid. So, you know, Effort does not get a free walkover over him. I think that the lineups actually look a little bit stronger for SK Telecom, but Bunny, you know, showing that he is no pushover. He's a really good guy, I feel, to send out first for CJ Entus to kind of get them in a good mindset.
And remember, Hero has been doing fantastic PvP against SK Telecom T1 in all of his previous matches. So, yes, his opponent might be parting, but it's not like he never played him before.
Yeah. All right, the Zergling going to scare away the probe for now. Should be able to survive. We do have just a standard Forge expansion on the way for Rain. And, you know, Rain's he's the guy that plays the most solid standard style, but he executes it so efficiently and his mechanics are so flawless that you basically, if you make one mistake, you lose.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why a lot of players do not try to copy Rain's style, because it's just so hard to make it work.
Yeah. He's kind of like the Protoss version of Innovation, I want to say.
Oh, by the way, just one note for the people viewing the wall at the Natural Brain over there. Do not copy that wall on Ladder, because this is slightly different version from the Ladder edition.
Ah, yes. Yeah. A little bit different size for the choke there. All right, third base on the way for Hydra. And you know what? I've seen him do various timing attacks on this map before.
Yes.
It makes me wonder if he's going to try to do it again.
Yeah, well, Rain's just a solid player who knows how to defend against all timing pushes from the Zerg player. So Hydra might tweak it up a little bit, but if he sees a little gap in Rain's play, he's going to go for it. But also, he needs to make sure he doesn't die to War Prison just like he did last time around against his opponent. And surprisingly, Rain is starting with the Robo, not Stargate.
Do you think he's going to go for the Immortal Sentry Island? He got a Stalker.
We might have that. We might even have the hero-style 4 Sentry drop inside the main base.
That's what I was thinking.
Force Field and Warp and crap ton of Zealots build.
He is getting a Sentry right now. And with the Warp Prism buff, maybe we could see the use of the Warp Prism kind of to its full extent here with Rain.
So it's really crucial for Hydra to just check the Stargate timing and see if the Phoenixes arrive. Phoenixes start picking off at the Overlords just in time. If not, then he can't drone up as much as possible. He needs to make sure he gets some tech buildings behind this.
All right, Immortal on the way.
All right, then it's going to be Immortal push.
It's being chronoed out as well. No +1, though. This is very peculiar. Rain definitely has a specific build prepared here.
Yeah, he's going for +1 right now because he timed it perfectly. He knows when the +1 attack and +1 armor is going to finish, just as he arrives at the natural base of Hydra.
Well, it's going to be up to our SK Telecom player to kind of deny the Overlord scouting here. He's sending in 2 at the same time, and they'll eventually kind of hit that location where all of those buildings are being built. He did have that earlier Stalker created, I think, so he can deal with that. These 2 sentries are also going to be able to efficiently pick off the Overlords. The key to making this build work is hiding all signs of the Immortal Sentry all in here, and he is going to be able to hold it.
Yeah, he doesn't see anything that's being built in that little corner inside of Rain's main base. But he should have some idea knowing that there was 2 sentries out, and remember, there was no Phoenixes to kill off those Overlords.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, I think that may have tipped off the Zerg player Hydra here. He's already starting to build a good amount of units here. His Zergling speed about halfway done. Roaches in production.
In fact, he stopped droning up right now. He knows that something is up from his opponent. He's getting a Hydra then right behind this, so he's going to have a nice Roach Hydra composition. The problem is, when is Rain going to push out, and is he going to give his opponent enough time?
Yeah. Actually, like, this kind of, I really have to commend Hydra for being this smart and reacting so fast. Rain does know where the 3rd location is for the expansion. He hasn't walled off his natural yet, but I think that's what he should do right now.
Yeah, right now he's just trying to bait out as many force fields as possible, but that's only few Zerglings over there, so he's not going to bait out anything.
Yeah,
with those
Hydra
Zerglings.
knows about the attack, though. That Warp Prism showing off its extra little speed boost there.
Now there's up to 15 Roaches in production, 18 Zerglings out on the way. We do have the Hydra then finished right now, but all Hydra is spamming right now is a lot of Zerglings and Roaches. And this is really smart. Rain going for that little position at the 9 o'clock position, and that's a really small choke for the Zerg player.
Yeah, okay, here comes Rain. The drone's off the mineral line, and we do have a time warp behind these units. Force fields are pretty solid here, but Rain, I mean, he's going to have to use the force fields to the biggest advantage that he can possibly use it, because as time goes on, there's going to be more and more units out here for Hydra. He's already up to 113 supplies. Rain will end up picking off this hatchery here, but after that, it's going to be harder to force field everything off.
Yeah, nice force field once again, but the Roaches are coming from the back. But like I said, this is a small choke, which works for Rain.
Look at those force fields trapping a huge amount of Roaches in those little positions there, and the Immortals getting to just fire away at these units. Rain being incredibly cost efficient here and evening up the supply.
Yeah, and also Hydra lost a lot of drones behind this trying to defend the 3rd base, and now he's only down to 2 hatchery. He doesn't have that much economy to back this up. There's only 4 Hydras in this composition, which means that the Immortals are going to just rip apart on all of those Roaches that his opponent has.
Yes. Okay, so Rain reinforcing with a few more units, and then he's going to press on with the attack once again. If you're ahead in supply over the Zerg player, man, you're in an excellent position, and he's just going to continue pressing forward. He still has at least 1 time warp as well with his Mothership Core. He may even have up to 2.
Nice corruption in the Robo, but it's not going to help him out as the attack is commencing at the natural of Hydra.
Rain putting down some force fields. Not the best force fields we'd seen from him this game. Previous ones have been better, but, you know, I feel like time is on his side. He's forced the Zerg down to 2 bases. He has saved his Immortals, and he can just use the sentries.
But do remember, this time around, there's a lot more Hydras in the previous engagement, and this is a large area for Rain to actually engage into.
There's more Hydras and more Zealots.
And that's the reason why Rain right now, he can't easily engage in this area.
All right, here we go. Time Warp goes down and forces the Zerg out of position, but the overall spread is very good for Rain here. One of the Immortals getting low on health. Can he save it? It looks like he is going to be able to and win this battle, or at least this portion of the battle here. We still have a few more force fields that can be utilized by the Protoss army, and the Zerg player rushing in now with the drones as well. The Hydra count, though, it's going down, down, down. It's now 87 to 57 supply with the Protoss player in the lead, and the Zerg player, Hydra, his units are forced back here. He has almost nothing left to deal with these units, and the Immortals, they're still alive.
Yeah, the key point is the Immortals were never taken out. This was one tepid early push from Rain, as he only made 2 Immortals instead of 3 Immortals, and that caught Hydra out of position. GG!
Rain takes a convincing victory over Hydra in the 2nd set on Neo Planet S. Like I said, man, his execution is flawless, his force fields, his macro impeccable.
And also going for only 2 Immortals or 3 Immortals. Yes, it's a little bit weaker, but it does catch your opponent out of position as the push arrives had been earlier.
Yeah, and
than the 3
also,
immortal push.
Hydra had a good idea of what was going on, but he never had that 100% combination in his head.
In fact, if that was a 3 immortal, he would have had enough army to defend against what Rain had.
Yeah. I think a huge part of that working as well was the positioning where he was in relative to the hatchery, and he took it out so fast.
He took it out so fast, the force fields went both ways, and the immortals never died.
Yeah, exactly. So the score is currently tied up 1-1. Hydra suffering a loss from Rain. That's how the score is evened up. We're going to move into the third set momentarily. It's going to be between Hero and Parting, a PvP on Belshir Vestige. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this commercial break.